Good evening. Right, we're back in the garage, back working on the bike. I've done a lot since the last video. Try and remember what I've done, tell you, explain, and tell you what I'm doing next. So, the handlebars are now done. Finally done, apart from things that are still a bit loose. I fitted new clutch cable, choke cable, throttle cable. The originals wouldn't work because the handlebars have moved too far. I'm just going to tighten all the bolts up once the seat's on and I know where I want stuff. The clutch cable in there was the connector that goes onto the clutch lever had rotten, rusted and snapped. Decided to re-weld that, but that's all working as it should. The cable's going through there. I've got my choke cable there. My choke, so that works alright. And then my throttle cable, which I've now got this eBay cheapo quick throttle. So it's about quarter turn, which is about a lot less than it was before. But it's surprising how stiff it is. And there's no kinks in the cable, it's just because of the stiffness of the throttles and the size of the cam on the throttle, I believe, but it's very stiff, but it's going to be much better as that. So yeah, handlebars are done, the cables are done. It was a massive pain getting that cut to size and then solder on the end of the cable. That was a twat, but anyway, it's all done now. So that's all done. Chain sprockets on. So that is a cheapo gold O-ring eBay chain. It was very, very cheap. It looks good. Time will tell how good it actually is. You could spend stupid money on chains, but I've gone for a cheapo. Standard size rear sprocket. The front sprocket is -2 teeth to give me better acceleration, sacrifice top speed and cruising at 70 miles an hour. The revs are going to go up, but I'm hoping that it's going to be a bit perkier driving around town and all that business with only been a 500. I've got my chain guide on there, looking good. I've also fitted some new fuel lines, new connectors, so that's a lot better than it was. And I've also got what the hell is that hose there? I need to figure out what that hose, loose hose there. But I've got an inline fuel filter, which hopefully will not affect the carbs. I've got a new air filter in there, and I've just put some tape over it whilst I'm still working on the bike. I've not cleaned the carbs because it run really nice before. I didn't want to upset the carbs and make them worse. Wiring is pretty much done. So I've got all the wires that are in my box, which my dad says he does not like. But anyway, it's staying. That's staying. Maybe if I ever did this again, I might do a box, make a box out of steel or aluminium. But anyway, that is good for this project. Just try and tidy up some of the wires. I'm going to still do a cover for this, 3D printer cover for that. That's this. What else have I got to talk to you about? Spin on the bike. That's lights are on. Obviously, number plate there. I won't show you the lights later on. Cables, just sort of some tie wraps, just keep it simple. It'd be nice to cover this up, but it'll do for now. Rear brake. Got my eBay stainless steel braided hose there. This needs bleeding. That's the job for tonight. Fill it with fluid, bleed all that. What else have I got to show you? I've got to fit new spark plugs, and I'm going to do an oil change. Try and do that tonight. Bleed the front brake. Do a final nut and bolt check. Just need to. What's left to do? Fit the fuel tank. So I've got my 2 fuel lines. I need to just make sure they go to the right ones on the tank. That's a breather for the fuel tank. Fit the seat, fuel tank seat, brakes. I've started to do the exhaust. That's all you're seeing. That needs welding, a lot more work on it, but that's the exhaust there. I'm doing a separate video on the exhaust. Was there anything else to show you? No, I think that's about it for now. So I'm going to do the brakes, filter, spark plugs, get everything working, and then we'll take it from there. Right, so I'm still bleeding the rear brake. I'm using dot 5.1 when it should be dot 4, but it'll be okay. Just wanted to show you how black the fluid is coming out of the caliper. So lots of crud in there. God knows why it's black, and God knows when it was last changed, but I'm going to keep flushing it through until I get nice clean fluid, and then obviously pump it, get the air out of it. Should be a nice, quick, easy job. Let's continue. But anyway, we'll pause it there, and I'll show you. We'll put the camera back on in a minute. Right, I'm going to call it done there. There's some very tiny particles in there, you can't see them in this camera, but it's something to note now. You can see there all the shite. But yeah, that's this one done. Put the cap back on, put the cover back on the caliper, put the cap back on the bleed nipple. Move on to the front one. So that's the brakes done. I'll be honest, they're both a bit spongy. Now I'm pretty sure I've got the air out. So the sponginess could be just the way they are, old basic brakes. Could be the shit hose. Could be air in there. So I'm going to ride it for a week or two and then maybe rebleed them. But yeah, they're just a bit spongy, but they are only basic, very basic brakes. Same with the back. Just a bit spongy, but they seem to work. Push it around the garage. So time will tell once it's on the road. Next job, I'm going to put spark plugs out. I'll show you what they look like. And then I'm going to do the oil another day. I'm going to do the oil once the bike's back on the road. I will let it warm up, drain the oil, and then change it. Once obviously hot oil drains better, get all the shit out of it. So let's do that. So spark plugs are done. That's the part number that I've used, that I got off eBay. I hope it's the right one. It is actually the same as what's come out, which is good. That's the left hand side, which I'm no spark plug. Come on, camera. I'm no expert, but that brick red is what they say. It's a bit sooty, a bit oily, but on the tip of it is actually that browny red, maybe. Like I said, it run nice when I rode it for 8 miles, that one ride. The right hand side, go on you fucker. Yeah, a bit sooty, but it's got that browny red to it on the tip of it. So, not sure. Anyway, we'll see how it runs like. So that's that done. Now, we have to quickly Google which fuel hose goes where, because there's two on the bottom of the tank, the reserve line and the main line, or fuel line, whatever. So Google which is which, get them fastened up, get this breather fastened up. There was a loose pipe down here that I need to investigate, that one there. I'm not too sure which one that is. That is probably the bottom of that one there. I've put in the wrong place. So yeah, let's get the tank back on. Get the tank on, get the seat on. We're done. Apart from the exhaust. Right. It's done for this video. We've got the fuel tank on, as you can see, the seat on, as you can see. They're all bolted on, they're not coming back off. The fuel lines are all connected. I've got fuel in the fuel filter, So that's that working. I've not had it running because it's too late and there's no exhaust on it, but I'm very confident it would fire up. I'm going to take off the centre stand, but not until I'm happy that it's reliable and it works. But yeah, there'll be no centre stand. Got a bit of an issue with the front wheel. The disc seems to be moving on the hub, even though these bolts are tight. Very odd, so I might have to get some new bolts, but it's strange how you can lock up the front brake and the wheel rotates a degree or whatever. Yeah, very odd, so I need to investigate that. I've not told you, I've done a 3D printed pretend brace for the forks, just for looks. Might get that made out of aluminium, because that's purely for show, doesn't do anything, it's too weak, but it looks good. I might have to put a mudguard on it for the MOT, but the MOT is not due for a long time. Handlebars, everything's now tightened up and where I like it, so that's good. Yeah, I'm going to 3D print like something to fill this ugly gap. You can see there, and the tank is covered in scratches and dents. So maybe in the winter, if I'm happy with the bike and it's good and I'm keeping it, I might strip it down, powder coat the frame. A lot of these parts I would powder coat, I would not plaster dip. No, I don't like plaster dip. But maybe get the tank painted by a professional, powder coat everything else. But yeah, I need to do that, something to cover that, because that looks a bit ugly. And these look a bit ugly, but you can't have it all, can you? Oh, I'll just show you lights. Connected battery, so that key's a bit stiff. So I've got my little switch over here. So the light's on. And you've got, I've got LED bulbs behind the dials, so they should be a bit brighter at night. I've got a little blue running light there. I've got a normal bulb and an LED bulb. There was no point, but I did anyway. I've got my number plate lights and obviously my LED lights. And just show you the rear brake. So that works nice. Put the indicators on just for the hell of it. Okay, looks good to me. Now, annoyingly, this does not work. God knows why. If you put a bulb in it, it cocks everything up. So, yeah, don't know. But they look fancy on the front, like those. Turn them off. But yeah, I'm just going to do a little walk around, a bit of slow-mo. I think this wheel is ugly. It needs another disc and caliper on both sides. It needs a wash as well. So with that side, it looks cool, looks good. That side just looks shit. So I think that's ugly. But anyway. Yeah, and I like the gold chain. Yeah, cover, and I want to do some better with this. This looks a bit too uncared for. But yeah. And then the exhaust is over there. I'm not going to show you any close-ups because it's a bit rough. It needs a lot of TLC, but it fits. But yeah, right, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.